If you don't make time for your wellness, you will make time for your illness. So, hey, today I'm on a little earlier than usual, but here's what I'm going to share with you, right? So, I'm going to make a smoothie. That's why I'm doing this a little earlier than usual. And I'll probably go back on live tonight, too. So, I'm shooting this video for heart health, okay? When I had high blood pressure in the past, this is what I used to help to support myself. Let's just leave it at that. I got to be very careful with what I say on here because my account gets shut down, banned, and censored a lot. So here's what I would love to know from you currently. If this is your first time joining me, just comment first timer and where you're joining me from. If you're a military veteran, comment military veteran so that way we can welcome you appropriately. And if you are a veteran to my feed, meaning you've been to my feed one or more times, just comment veteran. All right. And if you don't mind, if you got some value, share. You can leave your comments and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Got a Splinter. What's up? Welcome aboard. Big hunk. There you go. So, hey, leave your comments and what questions you have. And as I'm putting together my smoothie, I'll come back in here and make sure I answer your questions up. If you'd like to actually get notified when I go live later tonight, again, you can use my text message service. You can see the number on my profile picture. You can also go to the link in my bio and you can get recipes. You can get free trainings on sleep, energy, and fat loss. There's an interview I recently did, a conversation with Jillian Michaels and I in Miami that you can also watch. There's a lot of available stuff that you can watch in the link in my bio. So go check it out, get your free stuff, and get your recipes and all kinds of stuff. So right now, here's what I'm going to share with you. I'm basically using a 3-horsepower blender. This is a Blend Tech, okay? Blend Tech. This thing is very powerful. It's 3 horsepower, okay? I do recommend using a 3-horsepower blender because it's going to give you a much better smoothie experience, meaning you can take avocado seeds, you can take whatever you want to put in there. I've even seen it chew up an iPhone just for demonstration. This thing will put a dent in it and it'll pretty much turn it into fairy dust. And the value of that's really critical because a lot of times people nowadays have got a lot of stuff in their digestive tract, like undigested fecal matter in food, sometimes anywhere between 5 and 10 and 15 to 20 pounds extra. And what that means is all that stuff is caked on your intestinal wall so that you cannot absorb foods effectively. So having great digestion, having your insides and stuff clean, squeaky clean, can be very helpful for you to be able to get maximal nutrition. And that's why smoothies can work very well, because smoothies will digest or will masticate and break down very small all the fibers. Okay, so I can tell you this much. Since I've started using smoothies probably about maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, I can tell you that when I do them consistently, they absolutely improve the quality of my life. Hands down, 100% unequivocally. I can tell by how I think. I can tell by how I feel. And not too many people are racing to go get all the vegetables off the grocery store line. So no matter what's going on, there's a high probability you'll still be able to get vegetables. And honestly, vegetables, you're going to thrive a lot better on them because they're higher vibe. All right. So if you have any specific questions, go ahead and leave them for me. Welcome over. What's up? What's up, Mel? Hey, Marley. Hey, Sky. Let me know what specific questions you have. If you're having any specific challenges, don't put ailments, just put symptoms. If you're having like toe pains, back pains, whatever, headaches, whatever, leave that and you have my commitment. I'll come through there and answer them for you. Right now, I'm going to start actually building my smoothie out and letting you spend yourself. You just let me know. All right, so here we go. Here's what I'm starting with. And this smoothie specifically is for heart health, okay? One of the things I'm starting with first is a brick of celery, okay? Now, this isn't my theory or opinion, and 6 celery stalks a day is the traditional Asian medicine formula for helping with blood pressure, okay? 6 stalks a day. I love flax meal. Okay, great. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm breaking these up. I've already washed them off. I'm going to break it up so it makes my blender a little easier to chew up. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use distilled water. I'm waiting. I'll have my Kangen water machine will be here tomorrow. I'm pumped about that. Bloated after eating like 6 months pregnant. Okay, Debbie. So a couple things to think about. Let me just answer these questions for you real quick. Number one, if you're drinking liquids while you eat, stop. Let today be the last day. If you need to keep a little bit of water with you on your table or wherever you're eating at a restaurant, just in case you get something stuck, okay. But here's why you don't want to drink while you're eating, okay? When you're eating food, your body's digesting stomach acids out of 2.5 acid solution, which is very acidic, which means it'll eat your hand off, okay? So when you're eating foods and then you drink liquids, 2.5 acid solution that then gets washed down with, like, let's just say this, for example, with distilled water is called the mark of neutrality. It's a 7.0. Okay, what does that mean? Well, when you mix a 2.5 acid solution with a 7.0 water, all of a sudden you have a wash or a very neutral or a very base solution so that your body can no longer break your foods down. So if you're having challenges, feeling bloated when you eat, first question is are you actually drinking liquids while you do eat? Let me know if that makes sense. All right. All right, let's continue. So I'm going to zap these real quick, so hang tight. I'm just going to break them down a little bit. And I do this a little bit along the way because it's a lot easier to do it versus putting it all in. All right, now I'm going to put the rest of these. Now here's a couple things you need to be really aware of with celery. More and more and more as I kind of learn more about celery, celery is probably one of my favorite foods, and I'm going to share with you why, because there's a tremendous amount of benefit to it. Okay? Did that make sense, Debbie? All right, now let's talk about celery right quick, because here's a couple things you may not know, okay? Celery is very helpful for blood pressure because it has some stuff called phthalides, Phthalides. Phthalides is just a big word for it helps to relax the blood vessels around the heart so your heart muscles can relax so you have easier flow. The fiber, and the reason why I suggest doing blending over is because blending, you're taking everything and the blender is breaking it all up. So you're getting the fibers, the skins, the seeds, and the rinds. There is a lot of compounds that are very helpful health-wise for us in those. That's why I suggest doing a blender. Now, there's cases where you could use a juicer, of course, but I personally think that you're going to get a much better experience out of using the blender because of what I just talked about, okay? Plus, when you're using a blender, the blender will help to break down and chew up all those really coarse materials on the actual food, which often a lot of the medicines are within those very coarse structures like the seeds, the avocado seed, for example. There's over 100 different phytochemicals inside of the actual seed, which is crazy, okay? But here's the next piece. Tell me, did you know this, okay? Did you know this? Did you know that there's something called androstenone inside of celery? What is that? Androstenone is a pheromone, which means from a woman's perspective, when a male is eating celery, women can smell them subconsciously, meaning unconsciously, because the pheromones in the celery exhibit or exude off of the person eating them. So it's really kind of an attraction food or a procreation food because it'll also boost certain things that you need to be very aware of. It also has something called a PDE5 enzyme inhibitor, which is the same stuff that blue pill for men has. Same things. It helps to relax the blood vessels around the heart, allowing for better circulation. It also has some stuff called luteolin, which is very important. So if you have any type of estrogen imbalances, like too much estrogen, luteolin can be very helpful because it helps to bring that stuff back into control or into, let's just say, balance. How's that? All right, so let's see. Always forget to add celery. Not today. Add it. All right, so far that's what we got on celery. Here's the next piece of that. I have a little bit of parsley. Parsley is a good diuretic, which means it'll help to pull out excess water. I got a little handful I'm going to dump in there. Okay, I also have this little half of an acai pack that's frozen that actually helps pretty good because it's got a lot of antioxidant power. Matter of fact, if you didn't catch you didn't catch it because I didn't post it on this platform because it always gets banned. Make sure you connect with me on my other pages so you can actually get my information because I don't post more information on this unless it's a live video. The thing with acai is acai has something called apoptosis. Okay, apoptosis is just a big word for when our cells are functioning appropriately. When a cell goes rogue or is bad or no longer supportive or conducive for our environment internally, the cell will automatically kill itself. That's called cell suicide. That's called apoptosis. The acai actually has those types of possibilities or those types of gifts within the acai, and so does the purple sweet potato. Okay. What do you mean by kiwi? Welcome aboard. Today we're talking about smoothie. We're doing a live smoothie demo, but we're specifically doing a smoothie to help with heart and circulation. Okay. If you have never been here before and this is your first time, just comment first timer where you're joining me from. If you are a veteran from the military, comment military veteran. And if you are a veteran to my feed, meaning you've been to one or more of them, just comment veteran. No matter where you're at, I appreciate you. I appreciate you greatly. And I do this stuff for fun, but it's also what I do as my career. Okay. I'll probably be going again live tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time. If you'd like to make sure you get notified when I do go live, use my text message service. You can see the number on my profile picture, but you can also go to the link in my bio and you can find a lot of stuff. Interview with Jillian Michaels, Dr. Stephen Gundry, Dr. William Davis, podcasts, testimonies, free trainings, all of it. Plus, when you get on my text message service, you automatically get notified because I send something out to my community every time I go live. Plus, I send out videos and stuff because I do not post new content on this platform because they flag me too much. So I post it to my community and on my other social media pages. So just get on my text message service. That way, for sure, we have direct communication. Plus, I always do a one-time free call with all my members. So if you're stuck, you don't know what to do, I'll be glad to invest a couple minutes with you and help you get unstuck, right? So is that what's up, Karen or Kim Jack? And I'm not sure what you mean by kiwi throw. I'm not sure what you mean by is it a zapper. This is a 3 horsepower blender. Okay, so here's what I'm putting in here next. Okay, the taste is going to be pretty, probably not that great. That's why if you had some fruits or if you had an apple or monk fruit, or I would even suggest a little bit of protein powder, or I'll probably put some branched chain amino acid powder in there to flavor it, make it a little bit better. So there's other things that we can do for sure. Have you ever done stuff with guys? What do you mean? I work with all kinds of people. Unless you're projecting your reality on me. So here's what I'm doing next. Okay, I'm taking this red pepper. I'm going to chop it in a couple pieces. I've taken the insides out of it. These are very powerful for your cardiovascular system. And when you can pair this with a fat, it will absorb more effectively. So this will be good that I'm putting this acai in here because it is a fat. Just no sugars in it, but there is a fat in here, which will help this to absorb much better. And that's really important to understand because as you really start getting into nutritional value, you need to also understand how to pair your food so you can get the most out of it. If that makes sense, just comment that makes sense and let me know we're on the same page. So here's what I'm doing right now is I'm cutting up these, cutting them in little pieces. I'm just making it easier for my blender, that's all. You don't necessarily have to, but I find it just easier. Okay, that's why I do this. All right, so here we go. Here comes all the blender, boom. Here comes all the red pepper. All right, next thing is I have wheatgrass, top blood pressure lowering food. See how green it is? Very alkaline, which means lots of oxygen, which is good. Okay, just so you know, when someone is acidic, that means they're having very little oxygen. And that creates issues. That creates inflammation, toxicity, all of that. So when you're talking about improving the quality of your well-being, boosting your alkalinity or your oxygen intake or availability will absolutely transform your life. And that's where a lot of people are lacking because most people are really breathing from their chest and not from their stomach. So check in with yourself right now. Are you breathing from your chest or are you breathing from your stomach? Leave your comment, chest or stomach. And I'm going to cut some of this off and put it in here. The thing with wheatgrass, if you're doing shots, here's what I'll share with you, okay? If you're doing shots, I think that one of the best places you could get some solid wheatgrass, unless you're doing like what I'm doing, is just buying some and then just growing it and just watering it and using it like that. The next thing would be this. Whole Foods has a frozen, it looks just like this, but it's wheatgrass, okay? It's frozen. I don't particularly care for Whole Foods, and nor do I support Whole Foods. I think they're ridiculously priced from just my personal experience, and I don't like that. I like for everyone to have an opportunity to have good health, so that's what I stand for. And here's the thing. When you're talking about frozen wheatgrass, it literally looks like this. You just pull the top of it off, put it in some water, and it dissolves into it, and you drink it. So if you're having blood pressure challenges, that's a good place to start. A couple things to think about too, since we're talking about blood pressures, you need to be really mindful is if you have any resentment, any unforgiveness, any frustrations, because here's the thing, folks. If you do, when we are holding back and not loving with all of our heart, 100% that will make an issue, okay? So let me show you what I'm doing now. I'm taking this lemon, and I'm going to shave it to where it's white. I'm shaving the outside rind off till you can see the pith, P-I-T-H. There is a lot of medicinal compounds inside of here, limonene being one of them. You can easily do a googly search and check out limonene, and you can see the different qualities and characteristics that limonene actually has from an immune boosting perspective. Here's another thing too. It also is great for clearing out bacteria. So drinking lemon water by itself, I do multiple times a day. As soon as I get up in the morning, I'll have lemon water. Here's why, okay? If I have had too much sweets or pizzas or pastas or something, and I notice I have a lot of lymphatic buildup, that shows up in my left ear. It kind of sounds like I'm in a fish tank for a little while. When I drink lemon water, it sucks all that stuff out. How is that? Why could this be useful for you? Well, let's talk about it, okay? So when you're talking about the lemon is what's known as an astringent, meaning, and I'll tell you about that in a second. For those talking about smoothie demos, and I'm showing you how to build a heart healthy smoothie. Right now, I'm walking you through what's important to do with the lemon and the lime, and I'm showing you how to put this together in a 3-horsepower blender. If you have questions, post them. I'll go back and answer them here in a second. You have my commitment. If you're stuck, you don't know what to do, maybe you're on some things you don't really want to be on, and you don't know how to get off of them. Maybe you're having a challenge losing weight and getting in shape. Maybe you're having a challenge with emotions and not sure how to get yourself back in the game. Maybe you're not at peace and you're not feeling fulfilled and you don't know how to get back there, but you know you're interested in doing it. This is what I do. I coach high-level entrepreneurs and business owners. That's what I do as a profession. That's what I do for fun. I always do a one-time free call with all my family members. If you would like to take advantage of that, just use my text message service. You can see the number on my picture. You can also go to the link in my bio and you can find tons of information. Plus, you can find the text message number to text me directly. And when I see you back here, or when it shows up on my phone, I'll respond to you and say hi and say what's up, and I'll send you a message and welcome you aboard, and then we'll set a time to chat. I always do a one-time free call with all my members. If you're getting value out of what I'm sharing, the only thing I ask, just please share. I don't post any more videos on this platform because they flag me a lot and censor my information. So if you can help me help more people, that's the best way you can help me help you. And ultimately, I'm interested in helping you and opening a relationship up with you if you're willing to do the work. I can't do it for you, okay? But if you're willing to do the work, I will 100% help you thrive. I will help you understand where you're at in your mind, your body, your spirit, and I'll help you put those pieces of the puzzle together. I have tons of ways to do that. I've been doing this for 38 years. I did not just start doing this. I started doing this stuff when I was 7 on my journey, learning, nerding out, figuring out how to help people feel better. And this is what it led me into doing. I work with people with cancer, Parkinson's, and AIDS, professional athletes, all kinds of stuff. Celebrities, all those fun things, right? So it's really just a matter of if you're willing to do the work, I can help you. It just depends on if you're willing to do the work. I have something coming up called my 30-day challenge. My 30-day challenge, if you like what we're talking about, I teach everything from nutrition, emotions, lifestyle integration, tools that I use to support my clients for managing time, energy, and being, and having ways to rewire your identity or who you're being. This is all the stuff I do in my 30-day challenge. I have 2 spots left in my upcoming challenge. If you would like my support in a small group setting, I have 2 spots left. It's not for everyone. If you have an interest, just use my text message service. You can see the number on my profile, my picture. You can also see the number on my link in my bio. Just text message me the word 30-day, 30-day. It comes to me and I'll give you some more information on it, and I'll talk to you and see if you're a good fit. Okay? All right, so here's what I'm doing. I'm taking this whole lemon and I'm putting it in there. I'm going to cut it up so it's a little bit easier to understand. When you're talking about healthy smoothies, the biggest challenge is a lot of sugars. What I like about the lemon and lime is they have a little bit of sugar, but it's not a sweet sugar. It still comes from a fruit, so they still have sugars. It's just very sour, okay? I think depending upon what you're doing your smoothie for, if you're doing it for health purposes and health benefits, keeping maybe 80% vegetable, 20% fruit, maybe 90% vegetable, 10% fruit can all be very helpful. If you have any specific challenges and you need specific information, I can help you with that too. All right, there's smoothies that you can make for ADD, for brain stuff, for digestion, for heart health, for liver health, all kinds of stuff. It just depends on what you need, and I'll help you with that. Just shoot me a message and just use my text message service. It comes to me and I'll help you out. So here's what I'm doing. Cutting this up, okay? Cutting it in half. Now all I'm going to do is just throw it in there, half a lemon or whole lemon, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend this thing up. Let me grab this. I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to grab this, okay? These are little flavor enhancers, all right? So here's what you got. Let me show you this real fast. And first off, leave your questions, because as soon as I rip this thing up right here, I'm going to go back through and answer your questions. So if you have any specific challenges, let me know, and I'm going to go back and answer them for you. I'm about to grind this up real quick, and then I'm going to show you these other couple of little bonuses that I'm doing real fast so it helps you with the flavor. But just know this much. If you're not doing smoothies, they will absolutely transform your life. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. And that's why I'm making myself do them again. Okay? All right, so here we go. Let's grind this up for a minute. So put your phone on mute, buckle your ears, close your ears, whatever you got. And the flavor's probably not going to be that good. That's why I'm going to show you a little tip. Okay? All right, now I'm going to blast it for a minute. And go ahead and leave your questions. If you have any challenges, leave those too. As soon as I'm done grinding this up, I'll go and answer them for you. And while I'm fasting right now, so even though I'm fasting, I'll still do green smoothies and green juice and stuff like that. And this thing is just going to chew it up really good. And you can tell everything was pretty green until I put that red pepper in there, and then it turned a little brownish. All right. So let me know what questions you got on there. Any questions specifically? Now here's what I'm going to do now. And this is why I saved the ice piece for last, because when I put the ice in there, okay, that's why we put it in there last. And if you're doing vegetables, you got to be really careful, because sometimes it might take 60-second cycles to really chew it all up, like especially if you have an avocado seed in there. So sometimes it might be useful to put some ice in there, so that way you can actually control the temperature of it, so you're not denaturing some of the nutrients that don't really respond well to heat too much. But let me know if that makes sense. If that makes sense, just comment that makes sense. That's a really important nuance. Nuance meaning not a huge adjustment, small enough, yet will make a big difference on everything else. So here's what I'm doing next to improve the quality of my smoothie. I'm going to put some of this right here. I'm not sponsored by these people. I don't make any money off of them. I just love their stuff. It's called ZHOU, okay? This is a branched chain amino acid. What I like about it is they help with flavoring. So if I'm doing smoothies and stuff like that I don't really like the flavor of, I can take a good scoop, put it in there, and it will drastically help to change the flavor profile. Plus, it will actually put amino acids in my smoothie to help my muscle tissue have some more stuff to use to conserve my muscle tissue. Because here's the name of the game, family. If you're not conserving your muscle tissue and you're not tracking it, that's going to be a big challenge, because the biggest way you can help yourself get in better shape easier, faster, more effectively is very simply by tracking, so you can understand what your body's using for fuel, okay? So when I do my 30-day challenge stuff, I use blood sugar and body fat trackers, so that way I can tell what's going on. If something's out of alignment, we'll know within a couple of seconds what it is, and then we make an adjustment. Let me know if that makes sense, because that's a big deal. All right? All right, any questions so far? I'm going to put this last little piece of it together, and then we'll be wrapped up. So let me know what questions you have. If you got something, leave it on there, and I'll answer it for you right quick. And there we go. Okay? So here's what it looks like after we made it a little bit different, right? Actually, let's probably do this. All right. Now, hang on. Let's do this. And let's do this. Here's the thing, too. You need to remember this. When you're doing smoothies, I do this sometimes. I don't really recommend it. That's why I'm telling you about it, so you know, okay? When you do a smoothie or you do something like this where your sole purpose is improving the quality of your well-being, well, what you want to make sure of is that you drink your smoothie fast. Not necessarily like chug it. I'm talking about when you drink it, when you make it, drink it that day. I'm going to hit this thing one more time. Drink it that day so that the nutrients are as fresh as possible. So that way you get the most value out of what you're putting into your body. All right, hang tight real quick. I'm gonna blast this thing one more time. So I can get this finer. All right, you got any specific questions? Test this out. So leave your questions, leave your comments. Are you having any specific challenges with blood pressure, cholesterol, any of that stuff? Because today's video and topic of conversation could absolutely save your life. Just full disclosure, okay? So I started having some interesting symptoms show up on my body, and this is why I'm starting to implement these different protocols for my own circulation. Here's what I think. So I started noticing that I started having a challenge with getting tightness in my chest, which I believe is from calcium buildup, okay? Now that's important because look, calcium can come from a lot of different things. It can come from lifestyle, it can come from emotions, it can come from calcium buildup in the body because the body can't process it. That's why vitamin D and D3 and K2 are absolutely critical, family, okay? Let's see. So Lady T917, are aminos good for cognitive function too, older folks? I think that that's a good possibility. Here's what I would suggest though. I would suggest that when you do aminos, they have a couple of different things to keep in mind. Number one, they have something called a branch chain amino acid, which is a BCAA. That's generally 4 of them, which means there's 4 of them. There's leucine, isoleucine, and valine. There's 3 of them. Okay? The difference with an EEA or an essential amino acid is that it has all 16 of them. What does that mean for you? Well, I personally like EEAs because if I'm using all 16 of them, my body can pick and choose whichever ones it needs to do its magic. Okay? So that's why personally I like EEAs better. But really it's about testing it to see how you feel. Because look, what could be great for me could be terrible for you. You have to just test it for yourself. That's why I also love muscle testing. Are you familiar with muscle testing? Let me know if you're familiar with muscle testing. Pretty chewy. That's why these are feeling. Not at all, not familiar. Okay. I choose to remember what question I just asked you. Which question did I just ask you? Did I ask you about amino acids? So here's kind of what the finished product looks like. You could probably drink on this all day long. And one of the values of doing smoothies is that the nutrition is so rich, you're going to be hungry. Okay, muscle testing. Thank you, Lady T. I'll talk about that. Let's talk about muscle testing, okay? In my opinion, in my professional opinion, muscle testing is absolutely critical. I think that everyone should know it. You can easily go to YouTube and type in muscle testing and you can see what I'm talking about. What's good for pulled muscle? Hey, Roxy. All right, so let's talk about, so where do you have a pulled muscle? Because there's emotional information behind that, and I'll give you more information when you tell me that. Roxy is the bomb. I love it. So here's a pulled muscle example, Rox. I have pulled this bicep off of my arm. Literally, it's up here in my shoulder somewhere. Why did I do that? Great question. I did it because I had stuff going on in my relationship that I didn't process, and I was very angry about it. And that's what it cost me. So I've blown off this bicep. I've created 2 car wrecks. I've blown out the inside of my left groin, which is all left side stuff, which is all feminine related. Okay? So Roxy, let's talk about this. So hi, my lower calf. So right one or left? All right, folks, so check this out. Here's what you're about to see. You're about to see me help our friend Roxy get clear on why she pulled a muscle, because things don't just show up. There's emotional information behind that. Okay, so have you had any sorrow or lack of understanding on how to move forward if you're in a relationship with your partner or with what you're doing? Let me know if any of that resonates with you, and then we'll go to the next step. I'll tell you, yes, it does resonate with you. So you are having challenges understanding how to move forward with your partner or with what you're doing in life. Be specific and let me know. That way I can further help you out, okay? And for those of you watching and interested, what I'm doing right now is what I do the most, is solve problems, okay? We're using body language as a skill set to get clear on stuff that's active by what's showing up on your body. That's important. So when you say yes, is it a male or is it what you're doing in life? Let me know, because I'm gonna help you resolve it, basically. Okay? And here's why I love talking about food, because people can relate to it, but it always leads to emotions at the same time. And just know this much, family, I did not just start doing this. Okay? I've had my own near-death experiences 12 times, done my jail time, done crazy amounts of drugs, like all of it. I'm blessed to be alive, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Male, but live too. Okay, great. So here you go. All right, so this is for all of us. For our friend Roxy specifically right now, we're talking about how we're going to help her calf, her right calf. She's having right calf issues. I asked her, hey, are you having any challenges understanding how to move forward with a masculine figure, partner, or understanding what to do in life? And she says yes on both of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her a linguistical phrase that we're going to use to see if it helps to clear up some stuff. Okay, so you're going to say this out loud to yourself, Roxy, and for those of you watching this, you can also say this out loud too. Let me know what you notice. And before we do that, for those of you just hopping aboard, welcome aboard. My name is Brian Johnson. I'm a health and wellness professional, 38 years. I usually do this at night. I'm going to go live again tonight, but I was making a smoothie, so I figured why not share it with you too, to help you understand that there's some amazing wisdom within God's foods, and there's an absolutely profound way to be able to increase the quality of your well-being and potentially the quantity of your well-being. And if you have questions, you're not sure what to do, you need support, I always do a one-time free call with all my members. All you got to do to activate it is shoot me a text message. You can see the number on my profile of my picture, but you can also go to the link in my bio and you can see all of them on there. You'll see, get the interview with Jillian Michaels. Just text such and such and text Jillian. To get a hold of me, just text the same number and just text message me the word help. It comes to me. All right. If you'd like to find out more information on my 30-day challenge, just comment 30-day using my text message service. It comes to me. When you get on my text message service, you'll also get notifications when I go live, so that way you can hop on if you're available. Plus, I send out videos and information to my communities of value to help them out, like this kind of stuff. Stuff I do at the store, tips and tools and things to help you improve the quality of your experience. This is my gift to you. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything. There's a lot of free services that I have. Free videos I can watch, trainings, all of it. So it's really just a matter of what you're most interested in. I can help you. It's just you got to be willing to take action. I can't do it for you, and I can solve problems in 5 minutes or less 99% of the time, okay, if you're open-minded. All right, so let's get back in with our friend Roxy. So Roxy, here we go. You ready, champ? Let's do it. So here's what you're going to say, and let me know what you feel. So the first thing, here's what you need to know, okay? When you have feelings that are active, what you need to do, Roxy, is pay attention to this. Scan your body. Here, I'm going to get something real fast. Hang tight. Give me literally 5 seconds to run back there and grab it so I can show you this picture. 5 seconds. Count. All right. Here we go. Maybe 10. All right, so check this out. Scan your body. Pay attention where you have tension at, okay? So if you have tension in your throat, that's going to mean something. If you have tension in your chest, that's going to mean something. So throat, sorrow, sadness. Chest is fear. Solar plexus is grief. Stomach is fear again. Below your belly button is subconscious grief. And then on your back is anger. Okay, so Roxy, and this is for each of us, okay? Scan your body right now, because I'm going to help you process something, because every time we do this, it never fails. It always goes to emotions. This is why I started doing so much emotional work, because, yeah, even though it's nutrition stuff, still going to be emotions involved. Doesn't matter what it is, okay? And let me know if that makes sense so far. So here's what you're doing. Rox, check in with yourself. See where you have tension at on any of these spots. I'm going to help you process your experience real quick with your partner, okay? For those of you just hopping aboard, here's what we're doing. I'm showing you how to get really conscious and authentically accurate on what you feel. Not what you're thinking, but what you're actually feeling, because what you're actually feeling, you're going to have tension that's going to show up on your body, and that tension is going to represent certain emotions that show up in certain places. Okay, so here's what you got. He's gone. I'm saying I'm okay with it. That's okay. I'm fine with that, but that doesn't mean that your body is not okay with that. Okay, because just because you think you're okay with it doesn't mean that your body is not still feeling stuff. This is what I'm offering to you to consider, because if you don't, and you don't clean it up, the next relationship you get into, you're going to have the same stuff to deal with again. Again, totally up to you. I'm just doing my thing. If you're interested in resolving it, let me know. If not, that's okay too. But just know your calf stuff is because of your relationship stuff. That's why it's showing up. So you might be over it in your mind, but since your body is giving you signals of messing things up, that means there's stuff still active. I'm staying single, but thank you. Okay, well, either way, if you want to resolve it, let me know. But just know your body is talking to you. What you choose to do with it is definitely your personal prerogative. So, any other questions specifically? If not, it's all good. I'll be back live again tonight, where we'll dive into body language and actually dive into solving more problems. Got it? Got it. Yeah. Awesome. All right, I'm out. Y'all have a great day. It's time to go do yoga. Bye. How you get out of here?